I started using needles when I first was homeless out in Golden Gate Park. At some point, it was nighttime. Nobody had a clean. And I used someone's dirty needle. The LGBT Center, they had this thing called Youth Meal Night. And so I was going there to, of course, just, get a meal. But they had the St. James Infirmary there to do testing, which was awesome. Sure enough, I received news that I had both HIV and Hep C antibodies. The first test was December of 2014. The confirmatory test was February of 2015. When I first found out, I did not think that it was a death sentence. In fact, I was told, this is not a death sentence. The medications are highly advanced. There were multiple people who literally tracked me. And they would, even while I was homeless, they would sit down and talk to me at a coffee shop to try and encourage me to take the steps towards healing. They let me know that I should probably take meds. I denied it. I didn't want to. How am I gonna have medical adherence as a homeless person who gets my shit stolen? I get my shit stolen every other day. I didn't think that it was possible. And I'm glad that I experienced that because I started to verbalize that once I started working with another clinic called San Francisco Community Health Center. And the doctor there, she touched my chakra. She was like, you deserve love. And I was like, what in the hell? And so once she said that, that's when I felt like I had a team of people who were going to teach me how to do this. And sure enough, that's when I was put on a treatment plan. Treating myself was not just about medication adherence. It was also about a spiritual development to love myself with these conditions. There was a lot of self-hatred in me that I started to realize while I was under the influence of these drugs. And when I came to San Francisco, that's when I decided to accept who I am. Both being queer and using substances, and to learn what it means to love those parts of me. It was hard to do that, though, when I live in a world that does not love me for those very reasons, and for many other reasons. I'm also Black. There is something that is definitely specific to the Black community in regards to HIV and AIDS, and I think that is silence and stigma. We don't talk about sexuality. We don't talk about the addict in the family. There isn't a huge Black community out here in San Francisco where when a person of color finds out that they're HIV positive, there's like swarmed with a village of people who are like, this is how you do it now. I feel like the problem with HIV and AIDS is that the people who are Black and who have it, they're not coming out and saying, hey, I got it. This is what I do. Or, hey, I got it, and this is how I got it. In order to not get it the same way that I got it, this is what you do on the flip side. Here are all the options you got to stay healthy and not get what I got. I think the more that we stop stigmatizing certain types of Black people within a Black community, the closer we're gonna come to finding out what it means to be a healthy human being. Homophobia is definitely not a myth in the Black community. It is most definitely indoctrinated in the Black community, just like racism is indoctrinated in America. We have situations where there are folks who have to deal with their sexuality on the low. And so when we're dealing with a silent sexuality, there are diseases that we're not discussing. There are safe methods of having sexuality that we're not discussing because of shame. Like what does it mean to tell a Black man that he is less masculine because he is gay or because he is flamboyant? And so then, therefore, he has to closet his sexuality and then seem as if. My queerness came out long before I even kissed a girl. I stuffed a part of me. And that created a longevity of sickness, of stuffing even more things. Stuffing things that I was told were bad about me. Stuffing addictive qualities of me. So I never got to express myself fully. And there are a lot of people like me who never get to express themselves fully. And for a lot of black folks, it's their whole lifetime. So I've read the whole Bible front to back. Jesus never said anything about homosexuality being a sin. And Jesus is God, right? The Son of Man, right? So, like, why do we continue to put out false information about even a spiritual love in order to propaganda populations of people, our own culture? That's a faulty spirituality. And the black church needs to face that, especially considering that we were enslaved in this country and Christianity wasn't even our primary form of spirituality in the first place. It is not native to America to even be a Christian. It is not native to Black America to even be a Christian. It is within my heart to love Jesus. And that's the only thing that makes me a Christian. And so for me to go and tell somebody how to do that, that is the ultimate sin. I believe that there is most definitely a connection with racism and HIV in the black community, because if we live in a capitalist America where white folks clearly have the majority of these dollars, when their sweet little baby gets it, they'll throw as much as they can toward the cause, neglecting the fact that, what about other people's babies? All we need is love. But the more that we keep looking at that dollar, the more we're going to be negligent on love. And that's what's happening. Why is it that we don't have black doctors? Why is it that we don't have people to guide the black community towards health advocacy, to have preventative care? If we continue to live off of centuries of slavery and hatred and say that that is okay because we put a green dollar on it, we're going to continue to neglect the color of blood. It's red. We all got it.